Hello everybody and welcome to another indie spotlight with me, GeographicCactus. Now I've got 10 games for you this month. There's probably more, but I don't have them all here. But before I jump into them, I just want to go over a few things I've been playing. So Mineko's Night Market first. I got that one back in 2023 when it came out. So I went into it and played it. Didn't really catch my imagination at the time. Had a few issues, so I put it to the side and played other things. Went back to it recently. It's a really well-made game. It's got a lovely graphical style, like a picture book art style. It's got lovely stories around sort of Japanese, Asian heritage. Lots of it revolves around a godworthy cat and a night market and things. So it's got that very Asian feel to it. It's not a particularly difficult game, but it does have a lot of gameplay to it, which I didn't think it would, but it does. It goes on for a long time. In terms of the game itself, some of my favourite bits, some of the mini games, it's got a lot of mini games in it, a lot of them are very good, without being too difficult. Although some of the later ones are a bit more complicated, which doesn't really balance out very well. But we'll go over that. Like I say, the story is quite well written, lovely art style, which looks like it's actually been worked on and not shoved in. People have reported a few issues with the game, even though it's been updated and patched. Like I say, it was 2023. It's been updated since then, but apparently they've done the developers done a last kind of update patch to it, which means it's probably as good as they think it's going to get, which is, I guess, good, but also a shame. If they think it's done, then great, but people are still saying it's not perfect, which is a shame. It looks bad on them, but, what can you do? So I've been having a lot of fun playing that. I've been kind of kicking it hard, trying to get through as much of the story as I can, kind of get towards the end, complete it. Because it's been sitting on my hard drive for a while now. It's not a big game, but I want to finish it. If you own a game, you kind of want to get through it, get the story done, see what happens. It's got a lot of side quests as well. Obviously, collecting items for villagers. You get to level up the night market. Obviously, you've got to buy certain tools to unlock certain parts of the map, which is a different way to do it, but it's still fun. You've got to collect resources to craft things, obviously, to sell at the night market. It's just a very chill kind of game to play after work or in the evening, whatever. So I've been enjoying that. It is available on Switch, but I got it on PC when it came out, and I've just been playing a lot of that. The other one I just wanted to mention quickly was Discounty. I mentioned that I got Discounty on my Switch, which I did. I got the physical edition. Been playing a lot of that. It's a bit like Mineko's Night Market in that it's got quite a lot of story without being terribly difficult or boring or anything. It's got a lovely sort of art style to it. It's kind of like a 16-bit, not quite pixelized, but that kind of area. So it looks a little bit like that, so it's very nice. It's got a quirky set of characters that are very likable. It's got some sort of story game progression system in it, which is nice. It's nice to see things actually happening in front of your eyes. It's also got like a full sort of shop management system, like so you don't just stand in the shop doing the till. You've also got to clean the floor and go through the back and order supplies and get rid of empty boxes and stock shelves and everything. You do get an employee later in the game to help you, but a large part of the game you're kind of on your own doing all that, so it can be a bit tiring and a bit of a grind at times, but that's just part of it. And then the other thing I like about the game is that it's got some sort of educational qualities, if you can call it that. So, for example, you've got to, when you order your items, they'll come in like a frozen carton or a cardboard box or whatever. And if you collect 3 cardboard boxes, you can put them in the baler to flatten them, and then if you recycle the skip, you get money back, which I thought was quite a cool system. And then you also get the same with the frozen ones. So if you have 3, you can put them into a flat in the baler and recycle them for money back again. And then the other thing I liked was that as much as you can order stuff in, which is quite handy, you also have to go out to local vendors and establish trade deals because there's certain items you can't just buy in. So I thought that was quite cool as well. And then obviously the fact that you can level up each trade deal as well to get more items, get bigger packs, or pay less money for them or whatever is a good way of doing it. And then you can also upgrade your store as well with new items, and then you get better furniture, like bigger shelves and more appealing shelves and things like that. So it's actually quite a deep game. You can set your shop up in a number of ways. At one point, you do make your shop bigger as well, which is quite cool. So you have to buy a bunch of new shelves and kind of fill it up. So I thought that was quite cool as well. So yeah, Min Echo's Night Market, probably like a 7 out of 10, and then Discounted probably an 8 out of 10 is what I would say for those two games. Right, let's move on and look at some indie games come out this month. Like I say, I've got 10. There's probably more, but I don't have everything here, so I'm not going to worry too much about that. Right, the first one I've got is called King of Meat. This one's on PlayStation and Xbox, as well as the PC. It's made by Glow Made on behalf of Amazon Games. So this is the latest attempt by Amazon to corner the game market. Of course, they've made a few attempts already, none of which have really worked. Obviously, they've made a few MMOs and things, but none of them have been that successful. They made, obviously, Lost Ark and they had New Worlds as well. They're not bad games, they're just not really interesting, exciting. I mean, New World was decent, but it was, I don't know, it was a bit like what people said about Skull and Bones. You're just trudging in one direction to another, getting things, bring them back, or talk to this person, talk to that person. And it felt similar to that, and it was like not very interesting. Not a lot of gameplay in it. Anyway, this one is different. This is described as a co-op party platformer for up to 4 players. So it's got all-in co-op for up to 4 players. It is cross-platform as well. So basically, the aim of the game is you either solo or in a group play through a number of community-built dungeons, which are filled with puzzles and treasures and monsters and things. And the idea is you can unlock new abilities and upgrade your character and everything as you earn progression points, whatever they're called. So I kind of like the idea behind it. I see where it's coming from, but I don't know if multiplayer is the way to corner the market. I still think that there's a huge following, if you like, for single player story games. We've seen a lot of them recently do well. Obviously, Banisher's Ghost of Eden, one of my favourites. Dontnod's attempt at that, and then even games like Ghost of Yoti, Ghost of Tsushima done well. The Marvel games as well, obviously Spider-Man games. I know a lot of people are looking forward to Wolverine as well. So games like that. Even things like Ratchet and Clank back in the day, they were incredibly popular. So I'm not sure co-op is the way to capture the game. But so this one, it kind of looks like it's in the style of like an Ox Must Die, like a sort of cartoony style, if that makes sense. Maybe ukulele, things like that. You can watch the trailer for yourself. So I think this could be a lot of fun with pals. Like I say, it is. It does support single player as well, but it's like Outlast Trials that I was talking about on the other podcast. Is like, I don't think I'd play it single player. I think I'd play it multiplayer because it's aimed as a multiplayer game, earmarked for the multiplayer game. Like it's like they've taken a multiplayer game and shoehorned single player into it, which I don't think works. And then obviously I don't think it works the other way. If you get a single player game and shoehorn multiplayer in, again, I don't think it works. They kind of did that with The Last of Us and Ghost of Tsushima, games like that, and I'm not sure it's as successful as a proper multiplayer game. Of course, another instance of that is when they started making 3D films. They started trying to make standard 2D films into 3D, and it doesn't really work because they're not made to be 3D. So that was a little bit annoying, but yeah. King of Meat. I mean, I don't know, it kind of reminds me of the Outer Worlds a little bit. Not in the gameplay, but like in the sort of character design, the art style of the characters look a bit silly. There's a big, like you get the big face, like Andy's Choice or whatever it is in the Outer Worlds. You've got a similar mascot type thing in this. I don't know. It's like a matchup of game styles. It looks quite interesting actually. So I'd like to check it out. So yeah, like I say, so that one's out in the second. If you want to try it, I'm recording this on the 7th, so it's already out. But yeah, if you're into multiplayer games, you like the look of it, then you can get it. Like I say, PlayStation, Xbox, and PC for that one. Glowmade, they're based just down the road in Guildford, England. So another UK-based company making that one. Right, second game, and this one's got a demo if you want to try it as well. This is called Shrine's Legacy. Now I've been following this one for a while. This is another kind of 16-bit RPG, JRPG type game. It's kind of been inspired by the SNES era, it says. So basically what it is behind the game, it's a single player game, but you control two players, so you can play it as co-op, which is quite cool as well. Although it's only split screen local co-op, which is a shame, but oh well. So yeah, you play as two guys in the world of Ardemia, I think that's how you pronounce it. And they kind of go for the quest, to kill monsters and traverse lands and all that stuff, in an effort to restore the Sword of Shrine, whatever that means. It's still to do with some magic powers. It looks a little bit like Chained Echoes. I know I played Chained Echoes, and then also like other games that you might have known from the SNES and NES era. Yeah, that one's out today, like I say, 7th of October. It's due for release in a couple of hours. 4 hours from now. So if you're listening, before it comes out, then check it out. If not, then it's already out. But it's still worth checking out. Like I say, I've been following it for a while. It's something that I certainly like the look of. Where I'm going to get it, I don't know. Not right away, but I may pick it up at some point. I do like the different biomes and designs and everything. You can tell they've put a bit of thought into it. It's done by Positive Concept Games, which is a team of only 2 people. So it's pretty incredible to think 2 people do games like this. It's done by Alan. Is it Alan and Joseph? I think they're called. Apologies if I get that wrong. But yeah, 7th of October today. So depending you're listening, it could be out later today, it could be out yesterday, it could be out last week. But yeah, go and check it out now. It looks quite good. And like I say, it's got a demo on the PC if you want to give it a bash before it comes out. Right, next one, and this is called Battlesuit Aces. This one is like a sort of card-based deck building, space-based RPG thing. So basically, you control a bunch of mechs in space or a bunch of agents in space, whatever. And basically, you use cards to navigate them across, or help them navigate across planets. So you'll use cards to decide which way to send them. You'll use cards if they encounter an enemy, card-based power-up, things like that. Um, and then obviously they've got treasures to find and things. So the idea is you are in charge of these mech pilots, and you use cards in order to tell them what to do, and they will then control the mech in such a way. The game is a little bit sort of comedic and light-hearted. It's the art style's like a sort of a bit like the anime things that Pookie watches. I can't remember what they're called. I do apologise, but looks like them. It's done by Trinket Studios, who are based in Chicago. And they also did another one called Battle Chief Brigade. Battle Chief Brigade was an adventure game which combined hunting and cooking. So that was a bit odd. So they do some interesting sort of adventure games, I guess. Interesting ideas. But yeah, Battlesuit Aces, a bit more space-based battling. So if you like that sort of thing, that was also out today, 7th of October. It's also on the PlayStation and the Switch, as well as the PC. So check that one out if you like. I don't like that genre of game, I guess. Right, next one is called Rising Heat. And this is another very old school looking game. So this one is done by Fuzzy Sock Studios. So what it is a gladiator style space shooter, I guess. So basically, you play as a small ship, and you have to basically beat all the enemies that are flying around you before they kill you. So it looks very like an arcade game. It kind of plays like an arcade game. I'm just watching it now. There's a lot of cool power-ups, a lot of different areas you can fly to. There is a sort of level progress-based system. There's bosses and things to beat and stuff. So it's quite a cool idea. Personally, it's not the sort of thing I'd play. It's quite fast-paced. There's a lot happening on the screen at once. But if that's the kind of thing that you're into, then you can play that. That one's out on the 14th of October. So go and check it out. There is a demo for it as well if you want to try it out. Right, next one is called Kokoro Kitchen. I think that's how you pronounce it. Kokoro Kitchen. Which, as you might have guessed, is a cooking game. Love the cooking game, yeah. This is kind of a wholesome, cozy cooking game. So basically what you do is you take over a Japanese restaurant, and it's your job to kind of restore it to its former glory. And to help you do that, you've got your own garden of ingredients to grow. You can also decide what dishes to make for the locals as well. And you can also communicate with the spirit world as well, which is interesting. I'm just looking at it now. There's some cool design things and stuff. It looks like a sort of anime game. A very Asian cartoony look. It looks like it's sort of hand drawn though. It says it's farm to table, but I'm not sure how true that is, because if you just harvest it in your back garden, it's not a farm. But anyway, it's a cool system though. So it's interesting how they've taken the kind of farming simulation system and added it into a cooking game. So it's almost like you've got two games or two types of game in one. So that's quite a cool system. I thought that was quite cool. So yeah, Kokoro Kitchen, that one's got a demo as well. This one's done by Mango Leaf Games. And it's also self-published by Mango Leaf Games. Which we hope it does well, because this is our first game as well. And obviously, as we know, if it goes wrong, it can be difficult to come back from your first game. That one's out in a few days, 17th of October for that one. Like I say, if you do like games like that, there is a demo you can play for it as well. Right, next one, and this is quite a big one. This is Lumo 2. So this is the next sort of isometric puzzle game, if you want to call it that. Which looks, I'm just watching the trailer now. It looks very, very good. It reminds me a little bit games like Little Big Planet, where the levels are quite diverse. They almost look like they're made by someone else. I know that sounds silly because they're made by the developers, but like another player. It's done by Triple A, who did the first one as well. And in between those, Lumo 1 was 2016, Lumo 2 is later this month. In between those, he did one called Checking It, I think. What's it called? Checking It, which is an 8-bit twin stick shooter in black and white. So that's quite an interesting little thing. But yeah, but Lumo 2, I'm just, I see the puzzles look very varied, which is good. The controls look smooth. The way the camera kind of follows you around, but like an angle where you can still see the level, tells you it's been tested and looked at. And it's got a menu designed like an arcade system, which is really, really well done. I'm just looking at it again. It's really, really good. Level 2, so I'm very impressed with that one. I might pick that one up actually, because I do like puzzle games that are a bit more interactive. They do recommend using a controller for it though. So all those of you who use a mouse and keyboard for your games, you need a controller for this one. It doesn't let you use the mouse and keyboard. So that one's out on PlayStation X and Xbox and Switch, as well as your PC. And that was out on the 17th as well. Right, next one. And this is one I've actually played. This one's called Dispatch. Now, Dispatch is a sort of a satirical, misfit superhero workplace comedy game. So basically what happens is you are a dispatcher for a superhero dispatch company, if you like. So basically people will phone you with an emergency from around the city and you've got to select a superhero or two superheroes to dispatch to that emergency. So it's quite a cool system. It's quite a crazy game, to be honest. I quite enjoyed it. I thought it was cool. Kind of look at all the superheroes' different powers and everything. The heroes in question are kind of dysfunctional misfits. They're not actual superheroes. So like previous superheroes, if you like. And you've got to manage them while you're on your own goal to become a superhero yourself. So that's quite a cool system. It's done like an interactive comic book, I guess. Which makes sense, really, because the game's going to be released in weekly intervals, which begins on October the 22nd when it comes out, and then ends on October the 12th. So I'm guessing it's one a week, so you're going to get 4 like episodes, I guess. 4 episodes, so we dispatch episode 1, 2, 3, 4. It's quite an interesting way they've done it. It's done by Ad Hoc Studios, who are they're a new company, but they're made by guys that worked for Telltale, Ubisoft, and Night School, so they know what they're doing. It's the guys that made the Wolf Among Us 2 as well, so they know what they're doing. They're not lightweights. But yeah, like I say, I played the game for this. I thought it was quite good. I didn't really follow the story, but I enjoyed the gameplay as well. The gameplay was probably the best bit. The art style, the gameplay. So I did enjoy that. There is a demo available as well, if you want to play the demo for it. And there is also some, I should have mentioned, it's got some decision-based systems in it as well, which is always fun. It means you can actually do something. But yeah, demo for the game, so you can try that. That was going to be on PS5 as well as PC when it comes out. And Ad Hoc Studios, like I say, new studio made by some veterans. They're based in LA, so a little way away. That one's out on the 22nd of October. Like I say, that'll be episode 1, and then they'll have episode 2 and 3 and 4. So it's quite a cool system, but we'll say the episode release goes. Episodic release, I should say. And yeah, hopefully it does well for them. Yeah, right, next one, and I forgot to change the date on this. This also is called Onorism, something like that. Onirism. Onorism. So this is like a third person kind of action adventure in a place called Creator, like a magical quest. So you've got to join a little girl on a quest to find her teddy bear. But actually looks quite fun though, the adventure. Right? It reminds me a little bit of Hi-Fi Rush, although there's a lot more variety in sort of biomes. And also there's a lot more weapons and tech gadgets you can find to help you along. Enemies. The game's also got some multiplayer as well, PvP, co-op stuff. Which is quite a cool system. It's done by Crimson Tales. That one was out in April 2019 in early access, but it's now coming to it's getting a full release. So you can check that one out if you're interested. But it's got very positive reviews so far, so I'd say that it's a pretty safe bet if you want to get it, but you know, it's up to you. Right, next one is called Dreamed Away. I'm just going to go back there and realise I've made a mistake, guys. Onorism's actually getting fully released on the 2nd. Or was supposed to. Oh no, sorry, 23rd, right. I had the date written down wrong and then I was looking at the wrong thing. But yes, it's definitely the 23rd. So it's in early access now and it gets full release on the 23rd. Right, back to where we were. Dreamed Away. This one's on PlayStation. No, not PlayStation. Xbox and Switch. And the PC. As well. Right, this one is a sort of... It sounds like a dark, emotional ARPG. So basically, you play as a young boy called Theo. And he's lost in a world, in a sort of dream world. A lot of which is dark and mysterious, and shadows and things, which I think is where the psychological horror comes in. And you basically have to find your way out. I think that's what it is. It's got quite a fast-paced combat system. It's also got lots of mini games and things. So this is probably something I'd play, although I'm not. I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm undecided. It's done by Nicholas Petton, who's a guy that's done all of his own to do a sort of pixel art 16-bit game like this with a sort of deep, rewarding story with different biomes and characters and things is quite impressive. So it's I hope it does well for him because he obviously worked hard. I've been following it for a few years now. It's always nice to see it come to fruition, so I just hope it goes well. So yeah, Dreamed Away. That one's on the Xbox and Switch, like I say, as well as the PC. It's got a demo on PC to play as well, and Switch. It's out on the 23rd as well, if you want to check it out. Right, last one I've got for this one is called The Lonesome Guild, and this is probably my favourite one actually. So this is similar to games like Dungeon of Nile Book and things, if you've played them and watched them. So basically it's a sort of dungeon crawler, I guess you could call it, where you lead a quirky team of, well, characters, called characters in this, like an RPG type game. You lead a cast of characters. And you will come across, battles and treasures and things, and your enemies and so on, and you'll get power ups. It's got its own power up system, which is good. It just looks really wholesome. I'm looking at it now. It's watching it, the sort of the characters in the art. It almost reminds me of like Peter Rabbit in a way. Looks a little bit like that. So this one's done by Tiny Bull Studios. And then it's released by Donor actually, who've started publishing things. Donor, of course, they always do good stuff. I'm looking forward to that one. It looks really good. It's also going to be on console, so keep an eye out for that one. That one's out on the 23rd of October as well. Right, that's all I have for this one. Like I said, there are probably more games out there, but I don't have them all. Well, like I said last month, I will put the links to the trailers in the description because I don't have them on me. I can't include them because most of them are links to YouTube videos now. So I will include them in the description to have a look at the games you're interested in. I will be back next month with some more indie games. Until then, just keep gaming. Support the indie games by buying the games, and just all that stuff. Keep going. Right, take care, guys. Speak to you later. Bye.